Hello YouTube, this is Chrysanthemum, and I did some little spiral curl things. I hope it falls right. Anyway, this is my video talking about the girl Rachel Jeantel, or Jeantel, or I don't know how you say her last name. And you know, I'm a stickler for names because I hate when people can't read my name. Okay, my thing with this girl is this. I'm not saying anything bad about the girl because I kind of got a deeper perspective on her, especially yesterday when she said she speaks 3 languages. And me, a person who speaks French, who speaks Spanish, and who speaks English, I can speak it. I'm not super literate in French. I'm not super literate in Spanish. I can get a conversation going. I can talk to you. I can kind of figure out what's going on with you. And, you know, I know my letters. I mean, I know my numbers, my days of the week, my colors, my super, you know, questions. How you doing? What you doing here? Well, how you doing things? And, you know, in just about all those, both of those languages. And, so I kind of get where she's going, you know, as far as that. And then I also get, you know, it's not her boyfriend. The boy Draymond wasn't her boyfriend, but it was her friend. And to me, what I'm hearing, that it sounds like that this actually was her best friend. And it's just sad that people are going off on this girl. I really don't. At first yesterday when I saw her on the stand and her demeanor had changed from the previous day, I was thinking, well, maybe people like got in her ass about the way she was talking. But you know what? Now what I'm thinking is maybe, even though she says she don't watch the news, maybe she saw herself on TV the night before. When she went back to her hotel, maybe she actually saw herself on TV. And the reason why I say that is because these people were talking about her on the shows that come on at 11 and midnight. The comics were talking about her. Regular news was talking about her. CNN analyzing. HLN analyzing. Even Fox News analyzing. So what I'm saying is that I really feel like maybe she saw herself and said, ooh, I need to, you know, change. Now, everybody knows me. I don't do that sir and ma'am shit that they do down south. I ain't no slave, so fuck you. You ain't no goddamn sir to me. You just a nigga, just a man. Sorry, not a nigga. You just a man, you just a woman. After that, I can't give you no more. But I do think maybe she saw herself on the TV somewhere and said, you know, hey, I need to change. Okay. I am completely convinced that this girl cannot read. And to me, I feel like that's a parental failure on her part. Because I do understand that you go to school, but I also understand that you must teach your children at home. And for you to say you can't read cursive, when I don't understand that part, I'm kind of lost on why don't you read cursive. Well, it's called handwriting. Well, when I was in school, we just called it handwriting. We didn't call it cursive. And print was print and handwriting was handwriting. I don't know if they call it cursive now or what, because I'm not 19, so I don't know what people call stuff in school. But I don't understand that that's a failure to me on your parents' part. I don't understand why people are talking about her like she's so fat. That girl looks smaller than me. And so she's not fat. She's not ugly. Clearly she keeps herself on point. Her little hair was done very nicely. She wears decent clothes. I think that she might have also changed her demeanor because maybe she realized that her little clique she hangs around, her little friends, and her little neighborhood, when she probably saw how she comes across on TV, she doesn't realize that when you're outside of your element that you come across this way. And so she probably saw herself on TV, and I think it's going to be an eye-opening experience for her, and I think maybe she's going to change the way that she speaks, the way that she carries herself from now on. And let's get to these lies that they say that she's telling. It's not a lie to say her name is Diamond or Dee Dee. It's not a lie. Most people, a lot of people have, nicknames. I think the culture and the language barrier made her say that she gave a fake name, because maybe in her culture they call it a fake name, but in American culture we call it a nickname. Because if you go by Diamond or Dee Dee, that's your nickname. And then by her saying a fake name, they flipped it and tried to make it seem like she was lying. She was not lying. That is her other name, her alias. You know, I don't know. This whole thing is so sad to me, because I don't understand how people are really going in on her. They're really coming for her, and they're really taking it to another level as to their disdain towards her, when she's just a little kid, really. I mean, at me being 46, she's actually just like a little kid. She's younger than my kids, younger than my children. She's actually younger than my children. And now that all of my cousins are old, now all the way down to the ones that's younger than my children, she's actually really classified to me as a child. And I just feel like her parents have failed her, because nobody's taking the time with her to pull her out of that shell. Because people shouldn't be mumbling under their breath when they're trying to get a point across. They shouldn't, her speech, nobody's there. And maybe her parents are failing her, because maybe they don't have the skills, they don't have the aptitude to pull it out of themselves to project it onto their children. And maybe she has sisters and brothers, I do not know. But I just really feel like, you know, people should leave this girl alone, because once again, this wasn't her boyfriend, but I really believe this was like her best friend. If you talk to him, you talk to this boy so many times during the day, and you know, and she's being as real as she could be. Yes, the first day she gave me life. The first day she made me forget about any problem that I have because of her attitude. And the second day, she still gave me life. She still, oh, this stupid computer. She still, she was entertaining at times, but she's very informative. To me, the main point of the whole entire case is that George Zimmerman should not have got out of his car to follow somebody that was on their way home, walking. You're in a car, George Zimmerman. This boy was walking. You know, and for the 911 operator to say, we don't need you to do that, we don't need you to follow him. For you to get out of your car, that's not self-defense. For you to approach him, that's not self-defense. For you to chase him, that's not self-defense. So, I'm like, much love. I really don't want George Zimmerman to get off and walk his fat ass, almost 300-pound fat ass home, and eat up all whatever the hell he eats at home. But the way they're trying to spin this is that yesterday they were saying the defense is trying to say that Trayvon Martin is a racist. I don't think that he's a racist. I don't think I don't think he was a criminal. He wasn't going to rob. He wasn't going to kill. He wasn't going to destroy. He was going to go take some Skittles to somebody in the house and drink his tea. He was talking to his friend on the phone. Yes, they're talking about, oh, it's 20-something minutes missing. Where was he? Oh, yes, there's 40 seconds missing here and there. Listen, sometimes people, he might have been standing at the mailboxes probably for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. He might have been standing there for 40 seconds. There's things that happen. You know, he was in the rain and he didn't have an umbrella, so hell, he might have been soaking wet by the time he got to the mailbox. All I know is that this young lady is going through it. I'm sure when she finally got off of the stand yesterday, at 5 hours of being on the stand, I'm sure she was probably exhausted, disgusted, and she might have went to that hotel room or wherever they're putting her up right now, and she might have just went and gotten a shower and just sit there and said, what the hell is really going on with my life? I just feel like this is going to make her put her life into perspective, because clearly she's illiterate. If she did not write the note or the letter that went to Trayvon Martin's mother, if someone else had to write it for her, then clearly she's illiterate. And that's something she got to check for herself, which actually, since you know this and now the whole damn world knows this, maybe, like, if she was somewhere where I could reach out to her, like, and touch her, then I would actually help her to learn how to read. I've done it for many people in my lifetime. Although a lot of people think I'm not a helpful person, I have hundreds of people that can tell you how nice I am and how I will give you my last, how I am the helper. I just wish people would leave her alone. And I just wish people, I don't know how this is coming out. It didn't come out right. On one side it's super curly. I shouldn't have parted my hair down the middle of my head. That's what the hell this whole thing is. I'm going to have to go I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a headband on. Because the back seems like it looks nice. Anyway, this is cute. You just take your hair and wet it and put some oil on it. And then just twist it up. And then just take your fingers through it to pull it out. Anyway. So, I just really hope that George Zimmerman spends his last days in prison. For me, this case is not white or black. For me, this is a case of a person who, like my daughter said on her Facebook page, want to be a captain, save a subdivision. He think, and oh my God, if you listen to the way that the people who live in that subdivision, which are just all townhouses, if you listen to the way that they describe their life there, it sounds like you live in the fucking projects. It does not sound like you live in a nice neighborhood. It sounds as though you live in the middle of crime central. If you're talking about that many break-ins and this man got to roam through a neighborhood watch. Hell, I live in a subdivision. You all know my story. Paid cash for my house. My house is 20 years old. When I bought it 3 years ago, it was already 20 years old. We have kids that are out of school right now. And we have young kids around in this subdivision. Not too many kids, but a few teenagers. But they don't walk around with their pants hanging off their ass. Because once again, it goes back to the parent being responsible people. These are all working people. I think we have like maybe 50 houses in this subdivision. You know, the people are just more responsible with their children. They don't hang out all times of the night around here. But it just seems like that subdivision or that set of townhouses where this lady was living, that Trayvon Martin's dad was the boyfriend, it just seems like this place was just hella ghetto. It really does. I don't know what y'all describe as ghetto, but from what my experience of ghetto, it just seems as though it is ghetto. Really, it does. This is hair. I gotta. Anyway, I just want people to leave this girl alone. Yes, she's off the stand, but I really have a feeling that they're going to call her back to the stand later on in the trial. The girl who came on after her, witness number 9, the Spanish girl who wanted to just have a translator, she's saying the same thing that the other witnesses have said, and also that this girl Rachel Jeantel has said. George Zimmerman is trying to say that Trayvon Martin said, "You're gonna die tonight, motherfucker." All the other witnesses are saying they did not hear anybody say that. So George Zimmerman, you should have got your lies straight. But if you get off, then more power to you and your family, because everybody will clearly understand in the world that you are a liar. Your mama is a liar. Your daddy is a liar, because they lied and said they didn't have money when your daddy's a fucking judge. You are a liar. Your wife is a liar. You came when they were doing the preliminary hearings. You guys both lied and said you didn't have money, and you had over $100,000 in a PayPal account. So clearly you come from a lying stock, which maybe that works for you. I hope you go to prison, George Zimmerman. And I hope you have to stand your ground the whole time you in that motherfucker. But if you don't go to prison, you still got to stand your ground out on the streets for the rest of your fucking life. You got to look over your shoulder. You're going to have to, because clearly people are going to always harass you after this happens if you get off, because you're full of shit. Just leave Rachel Jeantel alone, because I really feel like she has a new perspective in life now, and I really feel like she got a chance to see herself in a different light, and things are going to change for her. I believe she's going to go learn how to read a book. I believe she's going to, someone should please give her some free speech therapy. Give her some counseling to get some self-esteem. There's a lot of things that she needs, and I hope that she gets those things to help her life get along better. I just wish people would leave her alone and stop trying to pull her down, because she is a product of her environment. There is nothing that can happen unless someone reaches out to try to help her. And so with that, I'll say thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, because I know you're watching. Because you're checking for me all the time, so I know you're watching. Bye-bye, YouTube.